visit some brother out on my call. This is the moment you're meant to know.
Well, hello there, sunflowers, and how are you guys today? Well, I hope you guys are doing good, better, or hopefully you're doing as good as Cardi B or Stefon Diggs. I'm not quite exactly sure what's going on behind the scenes. However, that's exactly why I am here today to pull some lovely cards. I feel like I need to name my cards. However, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to name them as of this very moment. However, recently in the news, the reason why I'm here to pull some cards on Cardi B and Stefon Diggs is they are apparently having some breakup rumors because allegedly Cardi B has, and actually it's not allegedly, I scrolled through her Instagram page. She has deleted all the pictures of her and Stefon Diggs, even on the yacht when they were dancing together. So
seems like it's over to me.
I hope you heard Lady Crow in the background saying that it looks like it's over to her. However, and so I'm not sure. I think Stefon Diggs posted some pictures of Cardi B on his page. However, when I went back to go check his page, I didn't see anything of Cardi B. So while they still may be following each other, they have erased evidence of them dating each other. So what does that mean? I'm not quite sure, but the cards will definitely let me know even more what's going on behind scenes and behind those closed doors. Last time I did a reading on Cardi B and Stefon Diggs, I said that if they could just get through this period and tough time where Cardi B is going through a divorce with her ex-husband, they could just get through all this tumultuous ups and down, anger, hatred, bitterness, all that. They could get through all that, then they was meant to be able to be together and withstand something. Or it could just be that maybe they are just meant for this exact moment to be with each other, to process something, and for some reason their paths just happen to line up, and this is just what they were karmically meant to do, or so contractually were meant to process in this lifetime. But I said it this time, and hopefully the cards will echo that same sentiment. However, we're just going to find out what's going on with Cardi B and Stefon Diggs. I think I want to do the reading from Stefon's point of view this time, because Cardi B is quite a bit much. So let's just see from Stefon's point of view, how's his relationship with Cardi B. Okay. Just shuffling up cards. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. You guys are now seeing me thoroughly shuffle my cards right here on screen. Okay. That just popped, and I think we're just going to call it a quits right here. So, for Stefon Diggs, and how does he view his relationship with Cardi B at this very moment? It's the Death card, but that could be a positive thing. Let's see. Let's find out what's surrounding this Death card that's going to really inform us what's going on. The Nine of Cups. Okay, I like that. I like that. The Eight of Cups. Okay, are we going backwards or are we reverting? The Seven of... I feel like I just got my answer. We got the Seven of Wands because we went from 9, even though it's not the cup section, but just in terms of numerology, we went from 9 to 8 to 7. I'm almost afraid I'm about to pull a 6. Okay, I pulled another 9. We came full circle. That's positive. It's always positive to come full circle. Okay, let's just read what we have right here. Let's just see what's at the bottom of the deck today. We really came full circle with the 10, I see. So first off, we have a bunch of swords and a bunch of cups. Evenly imbalanced, 2 cups, 2 swords, 1 fire, and death card is usually ruled by Mars, which no, that's the tower card. So death is ruled by Scorpio, which is a water sign. So actually, water slightly outrules this reading. So therefore, what does this mean? It's an emotional period time for him. He is um can you say in tech intellectualize your emotions? I think that's what I am referring to. So with that, in the sense of when it comes to his emotions, he's really trying to philosophize, really work through and process these emotions when it comes to his relationship with Cardi B. So this is exactly why this death card is here, because right now, when it comes to Cardi B and his current point with her in this relationship, it's a death point. It's a time for transformation. It's time to let the old die and let the new rebirth. It's almost like a tower, but can we say the death is less drastic than the tower? But death is definitely much more finalized. Sometimes it could be an egotistical death too, or it could be his old patterns that he was used to when it came time to date Cardi B. He had to adjust to a different lifestyle, a different way of life, a different style, breed, caliber of celebrity or stardom or financial. So because of that, he's just been upgraded, if you want to say, in that sense. So he's morphing and trying to fit when it comes into Cardi B's life, and because of that, that can also put a lot of burden and weight on somebody too, to try to fit into your life rather than you two trying to come together and create your own life outside of each other's lives. But I digress. Let's just dive a little bit deeper. We have the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups always symbolizes being emotionally content in a situation where you're not trying to dig, you're not trying to pry. Actually, you're kind of sitting up there feeling yourself like, what? Like you think you got it all together. It's kind of, if you almost want to see, it's like a facade. Actually, I'm starting to see that a lot with these 9 of Cups. Not the 9 of Cups, just the 9 cards in general. There's always like a sense of a facade or a persona that you're putting on. In this sense, the persona is being content, being happy with the way that things are. Maybe he quite isn't. Maybe there's something underneath the undercurrent that he's not quite dealing with, and that's all for the sake of Cardi B's sake. However, we see here in the past, we have the 8 of Cups. And the 8 of Cups always symbolizes the sense that you felt like you lost something, like something didn't work out in your favor. However, it could work in your favor. It's going to work in your favor just because you left this one situation. Like I just recently saw, once one door closes, 1,000 more open up for you. So do not look at what you had lost. Look at what you're going to be gaining from walking away from the situation that didn't fully benefit you. Now, what does this could mean in the sense of Cardi B? Well, that's how he could be feeling. Maybe they really are taking a break, like a solid break. Maybe he needed a breather from Cardi B and her, I will say, her toxic divorce situation that she's going through. However, just because you need a break, a mental sanity check for yourself, doesn't mean that you're still not going to be there for that person to support them. That's exactly why they're still friends and following each other on social media. Just because we're not together like that in the media doesn't mean that we aren't together behind closed doors where it really matters. So that's where the 7 of Wands come in. That usually symbolizes defending your territory, taking a stance, not allowing anything to come up against your happiness or what you're trying to build or what you're trying to create. And that's exactly how Stefon Diggs feels about Cardi B. He's like, I've put in some time. I've invested in you. I wanted to be with you. Just because we've reached this stalling point or this part of our relationship where it's a bit murky, it's a bit questionable. We're not exactly sure if we're moving forward in the right direction that we want to, but we're taking some time to reassess. because I really want to make this work. So whatever we have to fix along the way, if we have to take some separation, you get yourself together, I get myself together, but we still in cliques and cahoots and still talk to each other and update each other, then that's exactly what we're going to do. If we need to reset some boundaries with our relationship or how much we're seeing each other or how much we're letting the public in, then so be it. So therefore, they're reconstructing the boundaries and what it is to be Cardi B and Stefon Diggs. Are they a relationship? Are they just a fling? Is it just rebates or rebound, as they call? So they're really trying to figure out and taking it with a mature perspective of what are we doing, and why are we doing it, and what does this mean for our future? And what we see here for their future, which they're stressing out constantly about, is the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords means sleepless nights that are lost due to being stressed out. So much stress that mentally you can't even catch a break because there's just something trafficking through your brain that you're just like, God, can I just like shut it off for a second so I just don't have to think about it? Or sometimes those jokes where people just say, God, I'm so woke. I wish I wasn't so woke, because then I wouldn't have to deal with certain things that comes with being woke, because you have to deal with the consequences. So because of that, sometimes you're just like, oh, if I could just close my eyes, if I could just turn the other cheek and not address it, then all my problems will go away. Problem solved. That back to that Nine of Cups situation of being content, telling yourself that you're happy with this situation, happy that you're going through what you're going through. Even though you feel some sort of fulfillment, it's not fully fulfilling you. It could be, you could tweak it, but you're saying, nah, I'm not going to tweak it. I'm fine with just good enough. This is just good enough. I don't feel like I need the extra, but this is just good enough. So it's that sense of breaking past that barrier, because we see here at the very bottom from the Nine of Swords, we went to the Ten of Swords. So those sleepless nights turned into a mental burden that feels like they have slain Stefon Diggs when it comes to this relationship with Cardi B. Maybe he feels like he's exhausted every option when it comes to helping Cardi B cope with her stress, cope with her anger, cope with anxiety, cope with co-parenting. Maybe he's trying to do everything to be her support, but it's not enough. Some things are just, like, as much as you want to help that person, they sometimes have to fix that part within themselves. Like, you can give them everything. You can shower them with gifts, money, love, attention, everything they want in the whole world. And if they still don't feel happy within themselves, they're just not going to be completely satisfied. So because of that, there just comes a point where you just have to realize that you've done as much as you can for this person. Maybe set some boundaries. Maybe try to come up with a new game plan instead of saying, hey, what we're doing right now, it's not working. Let's try to reassess. Maybe let's take a break from each other. Let's get a mental clarity. I still love you. You still love me. We still love each other. And we're only taking this break in the name of love, to get a breather. So that way, whatever you're stressing and working out, you know how those stories go. When you get yourself together, come back to me. I'll be waiting for you. Stuff like that. So because of that, let's see what the Oracle card has to say. Because even though I'm seeing it from a positive aspect, nothing. Besides the fact, honestly, if we're looking at it, the Eight of Cups, the Nine of Swords, the Ten of Swords, and the Death card are all negative cards. However, I'm looking at this from a positive aspect, because you do see the sense of the Seven of Wands. So that could easily be taken as the fact that he's setting his boundaries in the sense that he's not going to be accepting or taking anything from Cardi B, or he has finally drawn the line and he's like, hey, I love you and all, but Offset is really getting in the way and putting a damper in our relationship. So I think till you get yourself all fixed, done, and through with Offset, give me a call. Like Nene Leak said, when you get your damn mind back, then give me a call. You done lost your mind. So something like that. So that's how Stefon Diggs could be feeling, but this oracle card will tell us all the sentiments. Is this death card truly a death? Is this truly the end of Cardi B and Stefon Diggs? Or is this only a end for now, as they're taking some time to redefine and reestablish and rebuild their relationship from a different perspective? Well, we have the winter card, which all symbolizes about being shut off, having a separation, a bit irritable. I mean, you get those seasonal winter blues, depression, weight down, and it's cold. And if it's not cold, things are dead. And when things are dead, literally like the death card, it's a season, it's a period. So with that being said, I definitely do see that they are just going through a period or phase within their life. But I will pull one more card to confirm if this is truly the end for Cardi B and Offset. Not Offset, Cardi B and Stefon Diggs. Well, the youth card met with the winter card. I keep saying this. We keep coming back full circle, because when you think of winter and you think of youth is like the spring that comes after winter. So therefore, like I said, they just got to get through this season. They got to get through this period. It's a period of redefining what's at the bottom of the deck. We even have a child, which symbolizes youth. I always get this when I do their readings. There's always some type of youthful energy, something that feels like that's been brought back to life, like something that was once dead. It's now brought back to life, has been rejuvenated, has been reincarnated, life has been breathed back into their relationship, or what love could mean for them. So for that, I see that in this relationship, they are still trying, no matter how peaked as winter looks. No matter how peaked it's looking, the cards are saying there is still some hope in it, even though it might be seeming bleak and it might be seeing it's like it is official. There is still that glimmer, that sense, that hope. And I'm going to say, this is just my opinion, that all has to stem from the fact that they still follow each other. Now, if they completely didn't follow each other, that'd be a completely different story. You know how following goes on Instagram. Unless they're going to later down the line and they're not trying to make a hasty decision, who knows? Maybe Cardi B will pop up back again with Stefon Diggs on her social media when they've rekindled and when they have gotten through a less murkier, cloudy, foggy, unclear period of the divorce with Offset. So with that being said, like I said, there's just something you have to admire about the fact that he got with Cardi B just shortly after. She was like, 5 months pregnant? And he was just like, I love you, girl. Let's be in a relationship. That takes strength. Still pregnant, getting straight out of divorce, abusive. She's taken so much from him, so much slack. So therefore, you know that she's going to come with a certain type of baggage of what hey, listen, honestly, you even know what her song Outside was just a whole diss track to Offset. So let's be for real honest here. There's still some hurt and still some healing that needs to be done. And when somebody's in that type of energy, it can be a bit of a energy rubbing off onto you. So for Stefon Diggs' purposes, maybe isolation is much more better and would help the relationship more in the long run than if they did stay together and he endured this negativity that is being spewed and radiated off of Cardi B. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading on Cardi B and Offset. I sure did. Not Offset. God, Offset, why do you always come in these readings when I do this? I hope you enjoyed this reading on Cardi B and Stefon Diggs. I sure did. Offset literally has Cardi B in a chokehold, okay? He always finds a way to slip in through tongue, like a Freudian slip. So because of that, I don't know what Offset is doing, you know how Offset is feeling, but he didn't have a diss track towards Cardi B, but I digress. So with that being said, like I said, they have a toxic, messy divorce in my opinion, and that can always get in the way of trying to start a new relationship, because that's just like Taylor Swift says, shake it off. You know, you got to shake off those vibes. like they do an act and just shake it off, warm up your body, get all loosey goosey, and just ugh. So if that being said, once Cardi B is able to do that, then there should be able to have some brighter days when it comes to her relationship with Stefon Diggs. And if this just so might be the end of Cardi B and Stefon Diggs, then they ended it off on friendly terms, and at least they value whatever connection that they have. Because you know how sometimes you just love a person so much and you're just like, you know what, I will do anything to have you in my orbit, in my existence, so that way I could always have some form of reach to you, like an energetic tie. However, when you do that, sometimes it ends off worsening the connection more than it could be if you had just let that person go, because it's just that built up resentment, or it could just be just the whole situation rubs you a certain way. So because of that, just to avoid all those unnecessary things, sometimes it's just better to say, hey, you know, let's maybe just take a break and you get yourself together, get myself together. We come back together when we feel like it is the right time. But so because of that, that's what I see with Stefon Diggs and Cardi B. They definitely care enough for each other, what they have brought to each other's lives, to say, hey, you know, let's not ruin what we have. And if this is the end, then this is the end. If we could come back and revisit in the future, then so be it, and we shall do it, and it will be great. So it's that kind of bittersweet, just hoping and praying and looking out for the future. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading on Stefon Diggs and Cardi B. I sure did. It was really from Stefon Diggs' point of view. However, I just wanted to see how he felt being connected to Cardi B, as she a big known figure in the industry, an influencer on top of that, and she just comes with a legacy and history. And if you're down for it, then you're down for it. So we'll see what the future has to entail for Stefon Diggs when it comes to Cardi B and his relationship with her. So that being said, please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't done it already. That would really mean a lot to the channel. But more importantly, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. It would really mean a whole lot more. We would really appreciate it. Please and thank you. And leave your comments down below. How do you feel about Stefon Diggs and Cardi B? Do you believe the rumors that they are broken up? Are you surprised that she has deleted videos of him off of videos and photos of them off of her social media? How do you feel the fact that they're still following each other even though they've gotten rid of each other and have video evidence that they were in a relationship? So with that being said, leave all those comments down below, and I will see you sunflowers in the next one. And you know what we say? Well, what I say to that? Sunflowers.